Yes,
Um,
Shilpaji, please go
huh.
ahead.
In one of our earlier classes, very initially, I remember one example was given. If I do mistake, okay, I can say that, oh, it is not me who am doing, it is God who is doing. So that way, I mean, we think, right. On the same lines, I have the other side of the question. Sometimes I'm seeing. Uh, uh, People who are spiritual, people who know, who chant Bhagavad Gita, who knows the test cases of Bhagavad Gita, I have also seen them saying, oh, this is my body expects this to do. um, so how should we attribute to that, Vijayji? So what is, even in Bhagavad Gita, from test cases perspective, for our materialistic body, what should we do, what should we not do? Is it not that important along with attaining spirituality?
So, yeah, very much true, Ji. First and foremost, body is the only vehicle you have in order to um, completely understand spirituality. Spirituality is not any kind of rejection of the world. So, none of the masters have taught that you need to reject the world. They have taught you need to reject the attachment to the world. Meaning what? That I am something that is coming and going, that I am uh, something that is going to get something from this world. That idea they've asked us to drop. None of the great masters have said, drop the world or reject the world or run away from the world. So, which means what? Which means anything that related to world. What is the origin of the world? Simple question. Go to any of our great temples. There is Devi Puja and there is Ishvara Puja, or there is Shiva Puja.
Hmm.
So there is both Shakti and Shiva that are done the puja to in equal measure. It is not that one is greater, one is lesser. In fact, just now we are coming back from Madurai. In Madurai, the tradition is that first you go and offer your respects to Amma in the form of Kamakshi, and then you go to Shiva. So, what is that our great masters and rishis are teaching? That energy and consciousness, Shakti and Shiva, are not two separate. They are two sides of the same coin. The world, what is the origin of the world? Origin of the world, or what is the material for the world, whatever you call as all these objects, the material for all of this object is that divine only. And the divine has this energy and awareness as two inseparable aspects. And the propitiation of the divine in the form of various forms. That is why you celebrate Navaratri. Navaratri is celebration of the divine in the various forms. Navaratri, 9. Multiples of 9, we have already seen, is a repetitive infinite number, right? It's an infinite series. 9 ones are 9, 9 twos are 18, 1 plus 8 is 9. So 9 is a very mysterious number. What it indicates is that the form aspect of the divine, the visible aspect of the divine, is an infinite series. Creation, maintenance, and destruction is an ever going process, and that's a divine process. And there is nothing to be rejected there. There is no form that is less, there is no form that is more. Realizing the divine in the form is actually fulfillment. As much as realizing the awareness principle, the invisible form, the unseeable, the, the beyond the senses Brahman, and the seen Brahman, all of this is the Virat Swarupa of the Brahman, or the Shakti Swarupa of the divine. So, respectful of the Shakti Swarupa of the Brahman and knowing how to blend with different forms is also spirituality. So, what does it mean? This body is the vehicle of the divine. How do you treat this body? This body has to be treated based on the nature of the body. Realize the nature of the body. As an example, there is a male form of this body, there is a female form of this body. Depending upon the form of the body, you need to do certain things that are distinct. The body has certain needs. Hunger is a need, food is a need. So be respectful of it. Realize what is appropriate for the body. What is the design of the body? What should the body consume? What should the body wear? How should the body be kept in its good health? All of this is very important. That is called as dharma. Dharma means what? You know how to deal with the different forms in a natural way. That is truly dharma. Dharma is realizing the nature or the rhythm of life. In winter season, what kind of dresses to wear? When you talk to elders, how should you speak? When you talk to youngers, how should you be a role model? All of this is dharma, knowing how to blend with the different changes. So there is nothing that needs to be rejected. So when anybody says one is more, so there are people who get attached only to the material aspect of the divine. That is also to be dropped. That ignorance has to be dropped, that there is only material aspect. You are both the awareness and the energy, the seen and the unseen, the changing and the unchanging. Both are the divine only. Both are together the whole. Realizing both is important, otherwise, it is incomplete. At the same time, saying that only the awareness is only reality is also incomplete. The seeing is a changing reality. So therefore, both have to be respected. Then only Purnatva happens. Purnatva means knowing you're both the Shiva and the Shakti. The life is combination of the Shiva and the Shakti. Not as, oh, there is Shiva and Shakti as two separate beings. No. The divine, the ultimate reality is both the awareness and the energy principle. Is this bringing clarity, Shilpaji?
Um, yes, G. Just to be uh, very crude on the question, so let's say a person is really doing, following the spiritual path and doing their best to our culture and Bharat, whatever. But let's say that person is having extramarital affairs, and that person says, so this is my body need, why you are looking at it? Look at the things what I am doing to the society, what I am trying to bring onto the table for awareness to everybody. So let's say if these things are heard, I feel it is not the way, it is not the right way. I feel in all dimensions, dharma has to be followed. So how, so as per your explanation, G, so should I consider that this is okay because it is the body need?
No, it is not okay. It depends upon the circumstances. See, therefore, let us understand what is dharma. Dharma is not man-made rules or the society's beliefs.
Hmm.
Okay. So, for example, it is okay for a person to have more than one affair. Is a societal rule. In nature, okay, if you speak purely from the nature of the body, yes, it may seek it, but what is the moral implication of it on the society? So if you notice, uh, especially in Bhagavad Gita, there is one shloka which says that what the great masters do is what becomes the rule of conduct for the others. In other words, you and I, whatever you and I have learnt in life, you and I have learnt it from someone else through their conduct. Whatever you and I call as culture. Okay, so we are vegetarian, as an example, or we like to go to these kinds of places, or in our family we do these kinds of rituals. Whatever that you call as your way of eating, your way of speaking, your way of treating others, all of this is cultural aspect. How cultural aspect has come? As a common practice within that particular family. And you, having been born into that family, you have noticed, you have learnt it, and you've imbibed it. So now today, reflect back on that. Whatever you call as, when somebody comes and compliments you, the way you speak is so nice. You can notice that it has come from somebody in the family. You have noticed in and around you. Or somebody may say, your dressing sense is very good. Whatever those things are, every little thing, including the conduct where it may be slightly questionable, maybe the way somebody, as an example, simple example, maybe somebody dresses up very glaring colors is also kind of a input from the family, input from the surroundings. So therefore, you have to learn to distinguish between dharma, which is a natural order of things, versus man-made customs. Okay. When it is man-made customs, it is a contingent upon particular space and time. Man-made customs are not necessarily eternal. Man-made customs are space and time oriented. They are relative. The way in India itself, the people used to dress, let's say, when we were very young, to when we are today seeing the world, has changed dramatically. Whether it is woman or whether it is man, both dress entirely differently. And if you go, say, maybe 200, 300 years back, it is much different. So now, what at one point of time used to be a very beautiful dressing may not be today. 70s, you would see all these bell bottoms. Today, bell bottoms are not the fashion. So, distinguish between the man made customs and focus on the nature, what is naturally there. So, now coming back to your original question, especially a person of uh, social order and whose behavior, a social leader whose behavior can be seen by many others and whose behavior can influence others, have to be extra careful, because they sow the seed of conduct in the society. See, as an example, Modi also sows a seed of conduct. The way he deals with money, the way he deals with service is a way that you and I will speak about it. At the same time, if there is a corrupt politician, even he sows the seed of conduct. Oh, he only does it, what is there for me not to do it? Can become the rule of the society. That is what Sri Krishna says. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Whenever there is a decline of dharma, see this dharma, this social dharma naturally emerges from the natural dharma, or what is harmonious for the nature. What is harmonious for a family? That the parents and the children and the elders, they live together, they treat each other respectfully. If one person is dominating, such a family is not going to have a wonderful harmony. So, like that, a person of higher social stature has to be very aware. Otherwise, they're not fit to be such role models. There is a misconduct. Yes, it is correct to say that the body has no such limitations of how many affairs it is having, but there is a greater role that one is playing. One has to be aware of the role. That is what Sri Krishna taught Arjuna. Look, Duryodhana's role is causing um, a non-harmonious society. So therefore, it is a justified war. It is a dharmic war. You need to quell such conducts. So at a social level also, dharma has to be seen. At a individual level also, then the dharma has to be conducted. Does this bring clarity to your question, Shilpaji?
Yes, Ji. I got clarity. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else you would like to say on that, Shilpaji?
Uh, No, Ji. So I understand that it is important to stick to the societal norms. Again, it depends on the situational basis. For example, in olden days, women were also wives were also killed along with the husband, right? So that dharma, that it is not dharma. It was a rule in the society that was there, but it is no more a rule. So it depends on situation to situation, but there is eternal dharma. That is something which any individual, be it in any of their role they are playing, definitely one needs to follow that.
Correct. And if one is having multiple affairs, what is the impact it is creating in that particular community that they belong to? What
Mm.
is the underlying message they're sending? Um, one has to be very, very cautious, especially once one is in the eyes of the public. One has to be very, very aware of what they speak, what they do. All of that becomes the norm of that particular group.
Yes, Ji.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Shilpaji. So then let us end that particular contemplation.